real ones. So they do, and cops came out here. Told me I was just taking out the garbage. Where you been?
Shit, man, I've been taking care of these motherfuckers.
Oh, damn.
Y'all's coming in, and now you're backing out. Now you're backing out. It's hard to talk big with a shotgun in your mouth. Shotgun in your mouth. I'm glad you brought your friends. They can watch it go down. Watch it go down. I got mine too. So welcome to my house. Cause these are my people, and this is my land. This is my land. And this is what we pray for, and this is God's plan. This is God's plan. And if you ain't from here, then you won't understand. You won't understand. This is my country, and this is who I am. So welcome to my house. So welcome to my house. Mine. You better believe it, cause today won't be your day. I can guarantee it, you should turn and walk away and get to leaving, or I'll let this 12 gauge do all my speaking. Don't push me on the edge, boy. Don't push me on the edge, boy. Cause I'm aiming for your head, boy. I'm aiming for your head, boy. And all I see is red, boy. And all I see is red, boy. I told you not to cross that line. I told you not to cross that line. I'm giving you a chance, boy. I'm giving you a chance, you see boy. The devil in a glance, boy. The devil in a glance, I can knock you out your pants, boy. Knock you out your pants, boy. I told you not to fuck with mine. I told you not to fuck with mine. Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy. Y'all was coming in, and now you're backing out. Now you're backing out. It's hard to talk big with a shotgun in your mouth. Shotgun in your mouth. I'm glad you brought your friends. They can watch it go down. Watch it go down. I got mine too. So welcome to my house. Cause these are my people, and this is my land. This is my land. And this is what we pray for, and this is God's plan. This is God's plan. And if you ain't from here,
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Ultimate Dirt TV. Tonight on the program, round number 5 of the SimBlacks New Zealand National Midget Championship, brought to you by New Zealand Sim Racing. So it seems Customer Poultry and Speed Nation. Tonight we come to the Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55 for a 50-lap feature event, a 55-lap feature event tonight. Again, welcome you to Ultimate Z3 live across the social media pages. I am Brett Wheeler. Qualifying is 3 minutes in. And, well, we've still got one car on the racetrack there that is taking a lap time, and that is going to be Matt McCutcheon, chasing down the time of a 12.550. Graham Smythe off a podium last week. 12.550. Regan Edwards, Alec Inslee, Eton Smith, Matthew Johnston make up your top 5 unofficially. Matt McCutcheon goes 23rd quick with a 12.709. 12.709 on lap number 1. Second lap for Matt McCutcheon. Will it be a little quicker? No, it's a 12.820. 12.820. We had 53 cars at this stage take a lap time. And you see you got your top 24. You can see just down the bottom of that one, sitting in 24th position. It's nice to see this guy back on the racetrack in the 666 machine. Harry Edwards making his return back to sim racing. Again, round number 5 of the SimBlacks New Zealand National Midget Championship. Again, what is season number 4 on... No, season 4 or 5. Let me check that. 1 second. I've got it here somewhere. Season 5 it is. Sorry, season 5 on iRacing. Joel Berkeley won the inaugural 2018 National Midget Championship. 2019, Brett Jr. Morris won it. 2020 and 2021 was won by Harry Stewart. Can he make it a three-peat? Can he be the first 3-time winner in New Zealand Sim Racing National Midget Championship history to have 3 elusive titles? Hayden Guptill has found himself with 2 National Midget Championships. Won it in 2014, 2016. Harry Stewart, 2020, 2021. Brett Jr. Morris, Joel Berkeley have got 1 apiece along with Dale Grother. And over the past 8 years, there's only been 1 year where it has been held, and that was 2017. Qualifying done and dusted here at the Federated Auto Parts I-55 Raceway. Graham Smythe goes quick time with a 12.550. We're going to see 5 heat races on the program. Top 2 will go to the main event. Top 2 will also go to the dash. Everybody else will go through to an E main, a D main, a C main, a B main. And of course, we'll lock in the 24 starters for tonight's main event. Heat number 1, let's take a look at how they line up. It's Graham Smythe lining up on the pole position. James McDonald front position at number 2. Lachlan Barry lines up at a position number 3. Mitch Favich rolls off at a position at number 4. Position number 5, it's going to be Murray Halter. He's outside. Luke Wilson lines up at a position number 6. Position number 7, Leo Heaton to his outside. Caleb Beecroft lining up at a position number 8. Mitchell Piskalik lines up at a position at number 9. And Jamie Thompson from position number 10 with Cody Metcalf lining up in the 11th starting position. We wait for our pole sitter. That is all we are waiting on. Now, if you guys can hear a fan in the background, I apologise. If you can, I will turn it off. But if you can't hear it, no, Bob might be your uncle. Right, here we go. Pace truck and the 11 starters. Well, the 11 drivers, I should say, ready to tackle the Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. Pevely, Missouri, round number 5 of the SimBlacks New Zealand National Midget Championship, brought to you by New Zealand Sim Racing. So it seems Customer Poultry and Speed Nation. Make sure to check out the social media pages. Show the people that support sim racing and long-time supporters with the New Zealand sim racing community. Round number 5 here tonight. It's basically been the Harry Stewart and Alec Inslee show in the first month of racing. If I can get a look at where the points would be. Let me go do some investigating very quickly. See if we can get Brayton or Harry to send us the link for the points. Here we go. Starts on iRacing green. Smythe and McDonald. No cautions in the heat race. Luke Wilson got an absolute shocker of a start. James McDonald leads him down into turn number 3 and 4. Smythe tried the bottom side of the racetrack. Remember, top 2 go straight to the A-main, straight to the dash, which will be 6 laps. Barbary runs back there in position number 3. 4th is Mitch Fabish. Fabish slides up. Little mini slider there from Graham Smythe. There's James McDonald now. Tries to work back around your race leader, Graham Smythe, as we work down the back straight away. 8 laps the distance in your 5 heat race before we have a 12, 14, 16, 18, or 14, 16, 18, and 20 lap preliminary mains. Smythe leads him down the back straight away. Smythe, McDonald, Barbary, Fabish, and Howell. That's your top 5. 4 down, 4 to run. Opening heat race of the night. The SimBlacks New Zealand National Midget Championship. McDonald tries the middle of the raceway, as does Mitch Fabish. Barbary slides up just a little bit. Battle on for positions number 3 and 4. Meanwhile, here comes a little crossover move from James McDonald down to the inside, down into 3 and 4. Backs out of it as Graham Smythe shuts the door. 2 to run. Tip of the green. White next time by for your race leader. We're working down the back straight away. Smythe continuing to lead the way from James McDonald. Great racing up front here at the Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. Down into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Checkers are out. And there we go. Heat race number 1 is done in the books. Thank you, Senior. Senior Stewart. Heat number 1 results coming up on screen. It's going to be confirmed with Graham Smythe getting the win over James McDonald, Lachlan Barbary, Mitch Fabish, Murray Howell, your top 5, Leo Heaton, Caleb Beecroft, Jamie Thompson, Mitchell Piskalik, Cody Metcalf, and Cooper Wilson. The 11 drivers in heat number 1. 11 drivers in heat race number 2. They'll line up like this. Starting from the pole position will be Regan Edwards to his outside. Dylan Cook lines up at a position number 2. Position number 3, it's going to be Campbell Richards, and Stefan Adams lines up at a position number 4. Rolling off the 5th starting position, Tom Storr to his outside, Nathan Kane at a position number 6. Alan Tacken for United Simsports lines up at a position number 7. Mark Horton lining up at a position number 8. Dion DeGraff lines up at a position number 9, and Brian McIntyre starting from the 10th spot on the racetrack. And Jackson Hannon lines up at a position number 11. We get set for heat race number 2 here at the Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55 Speedway, Peevely, Missouri. Round number 5 of the SimBlacks New Zealand National Midget Championship. Doubleheader tonight. After this broadcast will be live for the Worth Australia Big Block Modified season finale at the Knoxville Raceway. Here we go, ready for a start. Heat race number 2 again on the iRacing green flag. And Barney says, let's go racing with Dylan Cook getting a monster jump on the outside. 3 wide for 3rd, 4th and 5th. Looks like one car, Campbell Richards, got some mechanical issues. Hopefully he'll get that one sorted out. Regan Edwards comes after Dylan Cook down into 1 and 2. Cook just above the slick through 3 and 4. Regan Edwards a little higher up on the racetrack. Gets a run on Cook now. Tags the left rear of Dylan Cook. And now here comes Edwards down to the inside. Can he complete the pass side by side for the race lead? And Dylan Cook still holds on to the number 1 position. He slides up. Look out, there's some contact. Regan Edwards. And more cars. Nathan Kane going upside down. Tom Storr, Alan Tacken. They make it on through. And Tom Storr is up into that second and final transfer position. Tacken, if he finishes second, he'll start outside front row in the B main. Edwards back there in 4th. Stefan Adams back there in 5th. Then Brian McIntyre in 6th. No cautions in heat races. No cautions in preliminary action unless it is blocking the racetrack. Throughout the A main, the only time you'll see cautions in the A main, they are admin cautions. 2 or more cars involved in an incident. So we won't go yellow for single car spins. And that single car out in front at the moment is caliber 8 of Dylan Cook right now. He's looking the goods at the moment as we work down into turn number 3 and 4. Checkered flag going to fly here at the I-55 race, I-55 Speedway. Done and dusted in heat number 2. Dylan Cook gets the win. Tom Storholm in second. Alan Tack in third. Regan Edwards fourth. Stefan Adams make up your top 5. We'll take a look at those official results coming up on screen as the clouds start to come over. Dylan Cook, Tom Storr go 1 and 2. They'll go through to the main event. And the dash, you'll see those drivers later on. Alan Tack and Stefan Adams. Brian McIntyre, your top 5, will go into preliminary action along with Dion DeGraff, Mark Horton, Campbell Richards, Nathan Kane, Regan Edwards, and Jackson Hannon to make up the 11 drivers in heat number 2. Heat number 3 will line up like this. He's been one of the guys to beat. Phenomenal season so far in the first 4 weeks. Lining up on the pole positions from in car number 2, it is Alec Inslee. He's outside. Car number 81 of Joshua Walton. Row 2 to the inside, United SimSports Bradley Oldfield will start position number 3. Jordan Richards lines up at a position number 4. Matt McCutcheon for Team Billabong lines up at a position number 5. And Darcy Wilson, United SimSports Car 5, lines up at a position number 6. Position number 7 for Slick SimSports, it's the 53 of Joel Berkeley. He's outside. Jack Nan lining up at a position number 8. Braith Carlin at a position number 9. Xavier Simmons at a position number 10 with Cale James lining up out of position number 11. Heat number 3 in round 5 of the SimBlacks New Zealand National Midget Championship, brought to you by New Zealand Sim Racing, So It Seems, Customer Poultry and Speed Nation. Green flag, and we're underway in heat number 3. Inslee with a slide job. Oldfield getting tangled up there with Joshua Walton, Joel Berkeley, Darcy Wilson. They split him inside and outside. Meanwhile, Matt McCutcheon, so a couple of handy races having fun. But 3, 4, and 5. No doubt these guys will be working with one another as they try to better themselves in a better B-main starting position. Oldfield on the bottom, slides up in front of Berkeley. Berkeley turns it underneath him. Berkeley, will he return the favour down into 1 and 2? He looks to stay to the bottom side of the racetrack. Oldfield around the outside, Berkeley. And now Oldfield comes after McCutcheon. Handful of laps left in heat race number 3. Short distances, 1 car upside down. I'm not sure whether that was Jack Nan or Jordan Richards. It was Jack Nan in that 07. Braith Carlin slider there from Oldfield on McCutcheon. McCutcheon not looking his comfortable self at the moment as Berkeley annihilates the concrete wall into turn 1. He'll shut the door on Xavier Simmons in car 3. They'll make some contact. Both cars kept it going. Both cars did keep it going, but Simmons just caught the inside concrete wall. And he should know that that one does not move. Look out, there he is. Oh, there's Jack Nan. And that opens up the door for Matt McCutcheon to try and make a move on Bradley Oldfield with a lap and a half to run. Heat number 3, McCutcheon dives low down into 3. Tries to slide up, realising that the slider was probably not going to get clear. McCutcheon to the inside again on Oldfield as we work down the back straight away for the final time. Who's going to get the job done? McCutcheon, Oldfield stabs the brakes, turns it back underneath in the gold drag race to the line. Alec Inslee will win heat race number 3. Bradley Oldfield looks to have come home second. Matt McCutcheon will grab third unofficially. We'll make it official right now. It is going to be Alec Inslee and Bradley Oldfield going to the dash and to the main event. McCutcheon goes to the B along with Darcy Wilson, Joel Berkeley, your top 5, Cale James, Xavier Simmons, Jordan Richards, Joshua Walton, Jack Nan, and Braith Carlin. The 11 drivers in heat number 3. Heat number 4 to make it 44 cars in total. On the pole position, it's going to be Ayrton Smith. He's outside. Harry Stewart, United SimSports, position number 2. Caden Barker, the 44, Outlaw Sim Racing, will start position number 3. And Marcus Scott lines up at a position number 4. Now, 666 or 66, either one of those two. Harry Edwards lines up at a position number 5. And Hayden Vickers lines up at a position number 6. Max Donnelly out of position number 7. Aaron Hatton will start from position number 8. Callum Davidson will start position number 9. Sam Waddell, position number 10. And Jack Groenwald at a position number 11. So ready for a start in heat number 4. Round number 5, heat 4. We're underway for 11 drivers. Make it 10. Jack Gromwald missed the start. He's got some issues in that number 3 machine. We'll see if he can make it out for the what would be an E-main later on this evening. Harry Short will lead lap number 1. Caden Barker sits in second. He has got Ed and Smith now all over the back of him. It's Marcus Scott. Little mistake. Harry Edwards in the 66. Fends off a challenge from the 17 machine. And also Aaron Hatton down low. Hatton slides up. They'll 3 wide down out of turn number 2. Hatton and Edwards make a bit of contact. Here comes Edwards. Slide job. 3 wide behind him. Davidson into the side of Hatton. Stewart continues to lead the way from Barker and Smith. Top 3 have really broken away from 4th on back. Edwards still running in position number 4. Here we go into a B main. If he can manage to put that 66 in the 4th finishing position, but not before the 17 of Davidson. Davidson down low. Getting a little close there was Aaron Hatton in car number 50. A little shade of 3 wide in the center of turn number 1 and 2. Davidson on the inside of Edwards. Edwards got the drive. 2 to run for your race leader. It's the number 1 right now of Harry Edwards leading the way from Caden Parker. Edwards again fends off a challenge from Davidson. The pair made contact. And Edwards goes around, unfortunately, but the white flag is out. Again, no yellows in heat race competition. And the 11 machine of Harry Stewart are one of the drivers. One of 2 drivers that have been phenomenal in the opening month of action. And again, your 2-time and defending New Zealand Racing, New Zealand Sim Racing National Midget Champion. Looking to go 3 in a row. We'll get the job done in heat race number 1. Let's take a look at those official results coming up on screen. Harry Stewart, Caden Barker. They'll book their ticket to a 55 lap date later on. Ethan Smith, Callum Davidson, and Marcus Scott make up your top 5. Sam Waddell, Max Donnelly, Harry Edwards home in 8. Aaron Hatton, Hayden Vickers to make up your 10 cars in heat number 4. Of course, Jack Groenwald did not make the start, so he'll have to come from deep in an E-main. Your 5th and final heat race of the night. Matthew Johnston puts the 48 machine to the pole position to the outside. The 34 of Jordan McDonnell, position number 2. Mitchell Sparrow rolls off at a position number 3, and Lewis Clark lines up the 111 from position number 4. Raymond Marlin. I'm going to go with Marlin. Lines up at a position number 5. Brad Robertson will start outside of row 3 at a position number 6. Cooper Wilson lines up at a position number 7. Matthew Stables from position number 8. Ricky Brett from position number 9. And Bailey Leeson at a position number 10. So 40, what do we have? 4 cars of 11 and 10, so that's 54. 1 car, make that now 2 cars as Lewis Clark. Was unable to make the start of this one, but he's obviously just missed the start, so there's that Track Tech 111 machine, whether he will be allowed back out onto the racing surface. That is up to race control. We'll stay right away from that one. Final heat of the night before we move into preliminary action or consolation races, to where we start to eliminate some drivers. Johnston to McDonnell. McDonnell on the outside in the 34. Johnston on the inside in the 48. Ready for a start. Heat number 5. 8 laps on the board, and we are green. Here at I-55, it's going to be Johnston leading the way down the back straightaway. As the night moves on, track will get a little bit slicker. Sparrow runs in position number 3. Meanwhile, there's a change. There's some carnage in turns 1 and 2. We're going to stay green. We'll keep an eye on the battle for the top 2 positions. McNeil down low, down into turn number 1. Out of 2, it's Matthew Johnston getting the run down the back straightaway. Big slider coming out, getting a little tight. There was the 34 of McDonnell, and Matthew Johnston says, thank you very much. I'll turn it back underneath you quite easy, and I'll continue to lead the way. 3 down, 5 to run. Make it 4 to run. Next time, pass your start-finish line. Mitchell Sparrow runs in third. Raymond Moreland. Sitting back there in fourth. Ricky Brett in fifth. Don't forget, Ricky Brett started position number 9, so he's up 4 positions into a top 5 and putting himself in a good spot. For what should be, I believe, the B main, the back of the B or the front of the C. 2 to run, slider from Jordan McDonnell and Matthew Johnston back to the inside. He's got some dip. He turns it back underneath now. McDonnell, where does he go? Through 3 and 4, stays low. Matthew Johnson says, thank you very much. Don't make it too easy for me, Jordan. Slide jump. Parked it right on the nose of the 48 machine. White flag, final time down into turn number 3 and 4. Johnston and McDonnell. Johnston will win. Matthew Johnston wins heat race number 5. Jordan McDonnell home in second. Third will go to Mitchell Sparrow. Raymond Moreland. Fourth, Ricky Brett makes up your top 5. Take a look at those official results before we move into our E-main. Cooper Wilson, Brad Robertson, Bailey Leeson, Lewis Clark, and Matthew Stables. So the first of our elimination races. Your E-main, Mitchell Piskalik and Nathan Kane in row number 1. Row number 2, inside-outside, Joshua Walton and Aaron Hatton. Row 3 again, inside-outside, Lewis Clark and Cody Metcalf. Row 4, Regan Edwards and Jack Nairn. Row 5, Hayden Vickers and Matthew Stables. Row 6, Luke Wilson and Jackson Hannon. And row 7, Braith Carlin and Jack Groenwald. Looks like my timing and scoring says instead of 14 cars, we have 12. I'll see if there's going to be any post-race penalties handed out. Thank you, Mr. Stewart. So your E-main, again, if you're not inside the top 3, I believe it is, you are going to be sent packing for round number 5. Green flag goes out. We're underway. It's going to be Nathan Kane leading the way. There we go, just getting a few things sorted out. So 2 lots of 2 by 2 battles, 3 wide now for the race lead. Kane, Walton and Hatton. Walton on the inside, Kane on the top side now. Hatton has gone top shelf as well, above the slick through 3 and 4. Kane goes right through the slick there on the entry. You see the left front bike up big time. Hatton tags the tail tank of the 78 machine. Now Hatton, he's got some company with Mitchell Piskalik. 1 car into the wall, Cody Metcalf in car number 27. Big wreck there for the driver of the 27. He'll go back to the pits. He'll be done for. Walton runs a big slide line down into turn number 3. Meanwhile, Hatton closed in on Nathan Kane in turns 3 and 4. 5 down, 9 to run. Your E-main. Again, the first of what is 4 consolation races, and to lock what will be a 24-car field later on for 55 laps around the Federated Auto Parts Raceway, I-55. Walton's got a nice little stranglehold on this E-main. Hatton dies down low through 3 and 4. I thought he might have had something for Nathan Kane. He does right now. He pulled up alongside the 78. So it might be worthwhile for maybe Nathan Kane, protect that bottom side. Go back down to the bottom side as Walton goes upstairs. He's chopping, changing lanes right now. Hatton again still works that inside groove through turns 3 and 4. Now this time he'll slide up and the right front nearly catches the left rear of Nathan Kane. Meanwhile, Kane comes after Walton. Piskalik and Clark. Clark down low on Piskalik. Drifts up. Slide job, that's for positions number 4, but here comes Piskalik. Another slider down into turn number 1 and 2. These drivers, well, they're racing for a better spot in their next race, which would be next week. Oh, right across the nose goes Mitchell Piskalik with 3 to run, and that all but takes their chances out of it. Have a look at Brace Carla now. He's gone 3 for the price of 1. That's a big time Hail Mary play. 2 to run for your race leader, Joshua Walton, Nathan Kane, Aaron Hutton, your top 3. Top 3 will transfer to your I nearly said A main just then, but they will transfer to the back of the D. Checkers are out in your E main. Joshua Walton, Nathan Kane, Aaron Hutton getting the job done in the E main. We'll see if they've got the ability to run the alphabet soup. So the E main results coming up on screen very quickly before we go into your D main. So in fact we took 6 out of that one. Why was I thinking 3? No idea why I was thinking 3. Alright, your D main. Let's take a look at your Ultimate Turn TV starting grid. And the top 6 will go through to this one as well. So it's going to be 6 from the rest and 14 in the B. Mark Horton and Xavier Simmons in row number 1. Max Donnelly and Brad Robinson in row 2. Jamie Thompson, Campbell Richards in row 3. Row 4, Jordan Richards and Harry Edwards. Bailey Leeson and Joshua Walton. Row 5. Row 6 going to be Nathan Kane and Aaron Hutton. Row 7, Lewis Clark and Mitchell Piskalik. And, Regan Edwards in row number 8 by themselves. So, 6 cars have an opportunity to continue on in the D main. 6 cars have an opportunity to run the alphabet soup here at the Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55 Speedway. Looking for the green from Barney the iRacing flagman. He says, let's go racing. And look at it, it's already 3 and 4 wide throughout this field. Where do you look? It's busy all over the racetrack. 1 car upside down. Mitchell Piskalik in the 191 machine looks like it's going to be. Continue on. Oh, look out. No idea why that's coming up. I don't know what button I pressed for that one. Oh, there we go. Right, while I've missed all that one. While I've missed all that, we've got a race up front. Xavier Simmons, Brad Robertson, Mark Horton. You go back to Jordan Richards, Joshua Walton, Nathan Kane, your top 6. Walton and Kane come from the E main. We are yellow. Yellow on the racetrack. So not normally something you would see in your preliminary mains. Normally you won't see anything until the A main, but race control obviously deemed the racetrack wasn't safe to continue on with. Therefore throwing the yellow flag. Obviously quickly determine who is at fault, and looks like we are ready to go back racing as quick as you like. Green flag is back out in your D main. 7 down, 9 to run. Xavier Simmons, your race leader from Brad Robertson. Jordan Richards, your top 3. Walton, Horton, and Horton and Kane, your top 6. Edwards, Hatton and Edwards. That's Regan Edwards, Harry Edwards. They're on the outside looking in along with Max Donnelly. Aaron Hatton got some problems now. He's slipping back. Slide jump by Joshua Walton on Mark Horton. That's for positions 3 and 4. Horton goes to the bottom side as he tries to get by Walton again down into 3 and 4, but now opens up the door for Jordan Richards. Meanwhile, Xavier Simmons started outside front row, and he's looked pretty good since the drop of the green flag. Nathan Kane, car 78. Here he comes. That's the red and white car down to the inside. There's contact. And Horton going to go around. Now Regan Edwards has now moved up into position number 5. Regan Edwards 6, Nathan Kane and Regan Edwards, they battle for 5 and 6. And out of the 6 drivers that transferred in the E main, how many are we looking at? 1, 2, 3 at the moment that are looking to transfer from the D to the C. Your race leader Xavier Simmons out in front in car number 3. Here comes a big move by Walton on Brad Robertson. That was probably a bit ambitious, that move. The white flag getting set to fly here in your D main, the Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. Round 5 of the SimBlacks New Zealand National Midget Championship. Brought to you by New Zealand Sim Racing, So It Seems, Customer Poultry, and Speed Nation. Down into 3 and 4 final time. Barney the R-Racing flagman says checkers are around. We are going to a C main. The 81 goes through. And 3 cars continue their journey in the alphabet soup. We'll take a look at your official results here in just a few moments' time. Your D main results coming up. Then we'll have a look at your C main starting grid, as there it is. Official results for the D main: Xavier Simmons, Brad Robertson, Joshua Walton, Nathan Kane, Regan Edwards, and Max Donnelly go through. I don't see anybody else. 52, 78, and 81, just the 3. The 191, Piskalik, Clark, and Hatton are the drivers that come from the E also. So 16 cars. Brian McIntyre, Joel Berkeley in row 1 of the C main. Marcus Scott, Ricky Brett, row 2. Leo Heaton and Dion DeGraff in row 3. Cale James, Sam Waddell, row 4. Row 5, Cooper Wilson, Caleb Beecroft. Row 6, Xavier Simmons and Brad Robertson. Row 7, Joshua Walton, Nathan Kane. And row 8, it's Regan Edwards and Max Donnelly. Second last preliminary race. What is 4 races left of the night? So ready for a start here at I-55. And we're underway. You see main is upon us. And it's going to be Berkeley looking to lead lap number 1. There's some contact as Max Donnelly goes around and upside down, I believe. Walton getting the worst of that one. Berkeley will look to lead lap number 2. And some probably good, valuable track time for Joel Berkeley. So it's been a while since we've seen that 9 machine on the racetrack. Brian McIntyre, Leo Heaton, and Ricky Brett. Ricky Brett on the bottom side with Leo Heaton. In fact, Brett's upstairs. Heaton's on the bottom side. McIntyre working down low as well, 2 by 2. Your top 4 positions. A break back to Dion DeGraaf in the battle on for the final transfer spot. Oh, look out, one coming to the wall hard. Ricky Brett upside down. That'll end his night here at the I-55 Speedway. Xavier Simmons, Cooper Wilson. Wilson in that blue and white number 14 machine. He's got that 6th and final transfer position. Caleb Beecroft. Where's the 81? Josh Walton. He's back there in 13th position. The 78 of Nathan Kane. He's back in last. He's back in the pits. And the 52 of Regan Edwards. A little ways behind. So these are the only 3 drivers that have run the E, the D, and the C. Simmons, Beecroft. Simmons on the inside. Beecroft on the outside. There is Cooper Wilson. Wilson again trying to run that inside line. We are 9 down, 9 to run in your C main. We'll start the 10th lap. So we're officially halfway home. Heaton trying to get by Brian McIntyre. Joel Berkeley in the 9 machine. Just pulling away from the rest of the field. Again, we sort of stay focused around that 6th and 7th position on the racetrack. Beecroft went right through the middle of turn 1. Cut it down low at a turn number 2. Now he will go to the bottom, down into 3. Goes through the middle of turn number 4. Cooper Wilson, look out. Here comes Brad Robertson. He had a massive head of steam. And unfortunately was eating a piece of the right rear on the concrete wall he bolted on the concrete wall on that right side tyre. Wilson was a little slow there out of turn number 4. Wonder if there's some damage to that 14. I didn't see any contact in the 14. Or it might even be a fuel issue. Look out. Oh no. 1, 2, 3, 4. Regan Edwards goes into position number 7. I wonder if that will trigger the yellow with 4 to run. Down to Graf, Xavier Simmons started 11th. He's had to run the D main. He's running the C main. And he's in the transfer position. 1 spot closer to the B and 1 spot closer to an A main. 2 to run for Berkeley. Heaton closes in on Brian McIntyre again. Brian McIntyre just still glued to the bottom part of the raceway. Heaton in that HUSL number 26 machine. White flag is out for Joel Berkeley. He's out in front by 2.5 seconds. Heaton gets a run now. Down into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Berkeley rolls the bottom. He will be victorious in the C main. Second was Heaton and McIntyre. That was close to a dead heat. I'm sure the timing and scoring will let us know. Heaton, McIntyre, Simmons, DeGraaf and Wilson unofficially. Your top 6, that will transfer. And let's take a look at those official results. Joel Berkeley wins from Leo Heaton over Brian McIntyre by 0.012 of a second. We've seen that earlier tonight in a B main, with Evan C. and Eric Whitner in the 410 sprint car. Xavier Simmons, Dion DeGraaf and Regan Edwards in car 52. So Regan Edwards is now the only driver that has run all 3 preliminary mains. The E main, the D main, the C main. Now he runs the B main. We've got 17 cars to take to the racetrack with the top 14. So just the 3 cars are going to miss out. Lachlan Barbary and Alan Tacken in row number 1. And row number 2 is going to be Matt McCutcheon and Ayrton Smith. Row 3, Mitchell Sparrow and Mitch Fabish. Row 4, Stefan Adams and Darcy Wilson. Row 5, Callum Davidson and Raymond Marlin. I'm going to go Marlin. I think I had this discussion earlier. Row 6, Murray Howe and Joel Berkeley. Row 7, Leo Heaton and Brian McIntyre. Row 8, Xavier Simmons and Dion DeGraaf. And row 9, Regan Edwards from the back of the bus. So it's just Regan Edwards that has got a chance to run the E, the D, the C, the B, and potentially the A. He's got to pick up 3 more positions, and it's only 3 positions. Top 14 going through, 20 lap B main. Lights are out. One more opportunity for these 17 drivers to take home the top 14. Green flag is out. Tacken and Barbary down into 1 and 2. Tacken on the top side. McCutcheon went right through the middle of the raceway. 20 laps is the distance around I-55. One car caught the inside wall. I think that might have been Mitchell Sparrow in the 669. A lot of the drivers working on the top side of the racetrack. There goes Tacken around the outside of Barbary. Tacken, much like what we've seen Berkeley, we haven't seen a whole lot of Alan Tacken on the racetrack. So how will that affect the car? And well, that just answers the question. Tacken, the wall does not move. And you can't park there, buddy. That is a place you don't want to park. And from hero to zero he goes. Regan Edwards in the 52. Look at him. In car 52, just rolling the bottom side of the racetrack again. I don't think anyone has done it this season. We'll have to go back, but I'm pretty sure he might be the first person to run the entire alphabet soup. I know we've had a number of drivers run the D to the A or to the C to the A. Well, look out, he gets into the side of Matt McCutcheon. He saved it. Berkeley coming through the field as well. 3 wide, Berkeley on the bottom, McCutcheon and Ayrton Smith as they go 3 wide off turn number 4 and down the front straightaway. Just in front of them, Stefan Adams in car number 40. Now 4 wide momentarily, Stefan Adams. He saves it, he kept it going. We keep an eye on right around the Regan Edwards entry. Oh no! Molan got into the side of McCutcheon. Molan back to the pits, so 15 cars left to do battle on the racetrack for the 14 transfer positions. Davidson work on the top side. Berkeley comes up in front of Ayrton Smith. Smith in a bit of a tinder sandwich right now. Who's going to swipe left? Who's going to swipe right? Just in front of Berkeley is Darcy Wilson. Wilson trying to get by Mitch Fabish as Berkeley goes to the bottom side. Nearly 3 wide again. They're 3 wide behind Berkeley. If you don't mind, Ayrton Smith around the outside of Regan Edwards and Callum Davidson. And Ayrton Smith in the 64 machine. He's up on the wheel. Slide job by Wilson. Fabish turns it back underneath him. There's Barbary. Oh, look out. Wilson into the side of Barbary. We stay green. Thankfully for the drivers, they continue on circulating around the Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55, Peevely, Missouri. Round 5 of the SimBlacks New Zealand National Midget Championship. Our dash is up next for the 10 drivers that finished first and second in heats 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Smith still works the cushion. $14 down, 6 laps remaining. And it is still busy. Just outside or just around the top 5 area. 4th, 5th, and 6th. Wilson slides up in front of Davidson. Davidson will turn back underneath him. Now Davidson tries to come after Smith, but no, Davidson stays locked to the bottom side. Here comes Berkeley around the outside of Fabish. Fabish on the low side. He'll slide up, and Berkeley, oh, that was tight. Boy, I tell you what, he was committed to the top side of the racetrack. Was the 9 machine of Joel Berkeley, as Berkeley started position number 12, won the C main, looking to potentially win the A main with just 2.5 to go. He's got a 1.3 deficit back to Mitchell Sparrow. Mitchell Sparrow, your race leader in the Mobile 1. Car number 669. Fabish runs in third. Wilson and Smith make up your top 5. Davidson. Then you go back to Barbary, Edwards, McCutcheon and Adams. But the white flag is out. The leader's down to a second now. So Berkeley in the space of 2 1/4 laps. He picked up half a second. But it won't matter. Into 3 and 4 for the final time. Mitchell Sparrow going to win the B main. He's going to transfer. Remember, 14 cars will transfer. And let's take a look at those 14 drivers that will transfer to the back of the B. Well, from positions 11 through to 24. And those drivers will officially be Mitchell Sparrow, Joel Berkeley, Mitch Fabish, Darcy Wilson, Callum Davidson, Ayrton Smith, Lachlan Barbary, Regan Edwards, Matthew McCutcheon, Stefan Adams, Leo Heaton, Xavier Simmons, Dion DeGraff, and Brian McIntyre. So it is official, the 52 of Regan Edwards has run the entire alphabet soup. For the likes of Murray Howe, Raymond Morland and Alan Tacken, those drivers will take no further part in this one. But now we get set for a dash. So you'll have 10 cars, 6 laps. Now the lineup isn't going to work because it's run in the warm-up session. There's no the timing and scoring is not going to be correct. So with that in mind, we'll go through and take a look down at the bottom left to show you who we are looking at. So there is Dylan Cook on the outside of the front row with Graham Smythe on the pole position. Alec Inslee and Harry Stewart. Again, these two drivers have been phenomenal all season long. Then you go back to, well, it looks like we're going green off turn number 4. 6 laps the distance. We're underway in the dash. And we'll go 3 and 4 wide, 3 wide down the back straightaway. Inslee on the bottom side, Stewart through the middle. Smith upstairs. Dylan Cook will lead lap number 1. Harry Stewart and Alec Inslee. Inslee opens up the door. Stewart through the middle and Harry Stewart to the race lead, but it was only momentarily. Oh, Dylan Cook got tagged from behind by Ayrton Smith. No, sorry, Graham Smythe. Oh, no, look out. Some problems for the 2 machine of Alec Inslee. Graham Smythe on the top side. Dylan Cook on the bottom. Harry Stewart through the middle of the racetrack. And I think that might be James McDonald behind him in the 40 machine. No, Matthew Johnston in the 48. 3 down. Make that 4 down. 2 to run. Graham Smythe on the outside. Stewart will look to put the 11 machine on the pole position for tonight's 55 lap main event. Smythe, slide job on Stewart. Stewart turns it back underneath. The white flag is out. 1 lap left to run. Slide job city here at I-55. Your 55 lap main event up next on the program. Into 3 and 4 for the final time. Smythe and Stewart. Stewart going to back out of it. Stewart wants to start on the outside. Not a bad option. Graham Smythe, Harry Stewart, Dylan Cook go 1, 2 and 3. Then you go back to Matthew Johnston 4th. Followed by Tom Stall. Rounds out your top 5 and, well, whoever finished from there on out, well, we'll just have to wait and see for the A main. That is our dash done and dusted. What is next on the program is our 55 lap main event. And again, don't forget, we've got an 18-week season. We have completed 4 weeks so far. Round 5 tonight at I-55. Over the next couple of weeks, we've got a couple of bigger tracks. Next week, we go to Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. Williams Grove Speedway. Play host to round number 6. Round number 7 will be at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Round 8 will be at the Limeley Motorsports Park in Ohio. Round number 9, the sprint car capital of the world, the Knoxville Raceway. Round number 10, we'll go to the Tulsa Expo Center at the Chili Bowl. Round 11, we'll go back to Pennsylvania for Port Royal. Then we'll go down to Florida for round number 12 at Volusia. We'll come back to Charlotte, North Carolina for round number 13 at the dirt track at Charlotte. Round 14, Rossburg, Ohio. Eldora Speedway. Round 15, Illinois, I think it is, in Fairbury. Round 16, we'll travel to Pennsylvania again. Sava, Pennsylvania, Lernerville Speedway. Round 17, I think it's New York, will be Weedsport. And round number 18 will be Lucas Oil for what will be the final round of the 2022 SimBlacks New Zealand National Midget Championship. We'll take a look at your 24 starters very quickly from back to front. Row number 12, outside to inside, Brian McIntyre and Dion DeGraaf. Row number 11, Xavier Simmons and Leo Heaton. Row number 10, Stefan Adams and Matt McCutcheon. Row number 9, Regan Edwards and Lachlan Barbary. Row number 8, Ayrton Smith and Callum Davidson. Row number 7, Darcy Wilson and Mitch Fabish. Row 6, Joel Berkeley and Mitchell Sparrow. And then row 5, I'm going to give you your dash drivers. This is not the way they will line up. Jordan McDonnell, Caden Barker, Bradley Oldfield, Tom Storr, James McDonald, Matthew Johnston, Harry Stewart, Alec Inslee, Dylan Cook and Graham Smythe. Remember, Graham Smythe will start pole. Harry Stewart will start position number 2. I think Dylan Cook is going to be inside the top 5 along with Tom Storr. So Graham Smith and Harry Stewart, row 1. Matthew Johnston, Dylan Cook, row 2. Tom Storr, Jordan McDonnell, row 3. Row 4, James McDonald, Alec Inslee, and Bradley Oldfield and Caden Barker in row number 5. We are set for a start here at the Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55, Peevely, Missouri. Round number 5 of your SimBlacks New Zealand National Midget Championship, brought to you by New Zealand Sim Racing, brought to you by So It Seems Customer Poultry and Speed Nation. 55 laps on the board. Round number 5, I-55, we are green. Graham Smythe and Harry Stewart down into 1 and 2. It's going to be Graham Smythe, fresh off a podium last week. Here comes Dylan Cook now. Cook tried to go back through the middle of the racetrack. Smythe holds on to the number 1 position, but here comes Stewart with a run down the back straightaway. Matthew Johnston works through the middle of the raceway. Dylan Cook and Graham Smythe work upstairs. Stewart went to the top side. Dylan Cook slide job. Stewart turns it underneath. What fantastic racing here at I-55 to open up the opening 3 laps now. Smythe, Stewart and Johnston. Johnston is into position number 3. A little shot in the shorts there by Dylan Cook. Jordan McDonnell, he got up over the cushion into the wall. Lost a bit of momentum in ground. Caden Barker, Darcy Wilson, James McDonald. How about Regan Edwards from the E-main? And he's up to a top 10. The backside has been driven off that number 52 machine. Oh, Dylan Cook. McDonnell tags him. Tom Storr was able to go on by. Now Caden Barker with a slide job on Storr. Here comes Wilson with a slider on Jordan McDonnell. Cook back through the middle of the racetrack. Meanwhile, Graham Smith holds on to a 4/10 of a second lead over Harry Stewart. But again, we're still very early on in tonight's main event. Cook down low once again, down into 3 and 4. 7 down, 48 to run. Here in the 55 lap main event. Oh, Barker tagged the concrete wall. You've seen the front end pick up big time. Barker trying to go back to the middle. Slide job. I think that was McDonnell on Darcy Wilson. Wilson back to the inside on Jordan McDonnell. They were 3 wide. James McDonald working the low side also. There's Matt McCutcheon, made his way to position number 10. So Regan Edwards has just slipped back 3 positions. Whoa, look out, McDonnell. Nearly into the left rear there on Darcy Wilson in turn number 1 and 2. Back up towards the top 5 as Caden Barker putting a move there on Tom Storr. But Tom Storr was wise, quick to see that slider coming. Barker again catches the concrete wall. Barker with another attempt at a slide jump. Not going to happen. Meanwhile, coming after your race leader, Harry Stewart in car number 11 at United Sim Sports Titan Garages. 87 Creative, number 11 Machine. He's closed in on your race leader. After 12 laps, it took him a while to get going. He's finally found his rhythm. He was searching all over the racetrack, trying to find the quickest way around the I-55 Speedway. Graham Smythe still continues to lead the way. He'll go to the middle, to the cushion, getting the moisture on the top side of the exit of turn number 2. That looks like it might be crucial to get that run. And again, he'll do the same in turns 4. Stewart again back looking down to the inside. This is the battle for the race lead. Can Stewart get by Smythe? Again, Smythe fresh off a podium last week. Can he back it up with another podium this week? I'm sure Stewart would love to put another podium in the number 11 Machine. If you go back to points battle, Alec Inslee and Harry Stewart have been neck and neck over the first 4 weeks of racing. Alec Inslee back there in 10th position. Watching Wilson in that number 5 Machine. Slider there on Dylan Cook. Dylan Cook went from the top to the bottom. Back to the top, down into turns 3. Will he get the run on the outside of the racetrack, or will Wilson have the speed through the middle part? Dylan Cook looks a little faster on the top side. Got a little tight. He caught the wall not once but twice in the front end. You've seen it get real tight. Push straight up to the concrete wall. 18 down, 37 to go. Oh, Cook again. He's flirting with disaster in turns 1 and 2. How about Berkeley? Your C main winner, your B main runner-up. From position number 12, he's up to 8. So he's only made 4 positions. But how about Mini-Mac? Matt McCutcheon. Now we're going to call him Big Mac, actually. He started 19th. He's plus 10 on the night. He's up inside the top 10. As Alec Inslee, you see that number 2 Machine just behind that Billabong 00 Machine. He is one of the points leaders, or one of the top 2 in the point standings, coming into round number 5 tonight. Stewart, meanwhile, has gotten by Graham Smythe. Just as we focused towards outside the top 5, just for a couple of laps, and just like that, it was only a matter of time before Harry Stewart took the race lead as we start to embark on lap traffic. 4 cars out. Mitch Favish, Caden Barker, Bradley Oldfield, and Lachlan Barbary. Again, it's that slider line for Graham Smythe and Matthew Johnston through 1 and 2. Again, they're still going to do the same thing in 3 and 4. Different lines for Harry Stewart and Smythe and Johnston. Smythe and Johnston running pretty much the same sort of line. Whereas Harry Stewart, he's a little different as he puts himself between... He puts a lap car between himself and Graham Smythe. Smythe looks to get around the lap car. I believe that is going to be Brian McIntyre. It is Brian McIntyre in car 26. McIntyre stays to the bottom. The undergraph just holding his line there on the bottom side of the racetrack. Half a second between Harry Stewart and Graham Smythe. Smythe closing in once again. We're right around half race distance, probably when we get down the back straightaway. So if you're half 55, it gives you 27.5, and right there is where your race leader is. So now we go past half race distance. Harry Stewart, Graham Smythe, Matthew Johnston, Tom Storr, Storr and Cook, and Wilson 3 wide down into 1 and 2. Storr on the outside, Cook, and now here comes Berkeley. Berkeley with a full head of steam in that number 9 Machine. Cook on the outside again, rails the cushion. Something about midgets that these drivers, they just love to bang the boards. And right now with a track like I-55, this is exactly what these guys would want to do. They just want to bang the boards and rip the lip. 3 wide lap car on the bottom. Wilson through the middle. Tom Storr on the outside. Again, lap car, all you can ask for as a car on the lead lap is just to hold your line. And again, he goes 3 wide with Berkeley and Dylan Cook. Look out. I think, again, that's McIntyre there on the bottom side of the racetrack. It is. Again, he's doing nothing wrong. He's trying to hold his line, trying to let the cars on the lead lap and the cars battling for their own positions go on by as safely as possible. Stewart holds a 4/10 of a lead. 4/10 of a second lead over Graham Smythe. Oh no, Tom Storr and Berkeley. Berkeley half spun the car. But again, single car, so we do not go yellow. Stewart once again opens up a big lead. It's now out to 7/10, so he's almost doubled the lead from when we last looked at it. Storr with a move on Cook. There is your race leader, who now has a lap car between himself. That is Ayrton Smith in car 64 between Harry Stewart and Graham Smythe. We've got 19 laps left to run. Stewart just looks so dominant here at I-55. Darcy Wilson from 14th to position number 10. Matt McCutcheon from 19th to 9th. Those two drivers plus 10. How about Xavier Simmons from 22nd up to position number 12? That is also a plus 10. Storr, McDonnell nose to tail. There is Alec Inslee in the number 2 machine, working the top side along with Matt McCutcheon. And there is Joel Berkeley. Now, after it was going to be challenging for a top 5 finishing position, there was slight contact with Tom Storr. He finds himself sitting back there in 10th position, so still a good recovery. But I'll tell you what, Berkeley, he's all over Minimac now. Minimac gets a little tight. Minimac going to pull that car infield. Not sure what has gone wrong on that 00 machine. One could only assume that maybe it might be a fuel issue. 15 to run. And how about it? 40 green flag laps. You couldn't ask for a better race at the moment. Yeah, everybody might be just sort of spreading themselves out just a little bit. But we watch Matthew Johnston battle the lap car of Ayrton Smith. So Johnston getting around Ayrton Smith. My, oh my. What a way. Oh, there is our first caution on lap number 44. It finally comes. So it's taken 43 and a half laps to see the yellow flag come out for the first time tonight. I think what has been 2, maximum 3 cautions throughout the entire night. Hats off to the track crew, hats off to race control, and of course hats off to these drivers on the racetrack. Now with caution laps counting, you're basically going to lose a maximum of 3 laps. But with race control not sort of mucking around, I'm sure they'll get these drivers lined up, ready to go. And before you know it, we are going to be inside of single-digit laps remaining. And they will be single file restarts here at I-55. Safety car in, pace truck in. 9 laps left to run. Harry Stewart with a big jump on Graham Smythe, Matthew Johnson. And I'm sure this is what half the field would have liked, especially the drivers inside the top 5. Darcy Wilson now challenging for a podium position. Wilson through the middle, follows his teammate of Harry Stewart. And that might just be the place to be, you know, because Harry Stewart, no doubt he would have done a few laps around here, but right now he's out in front at the moment. And Darcy Wilson go, well, you know what? My teammate's leading. No doubt, I'm sure there'll be some words being discussed in the Discord between the drivers and some team tactics right now. Oh, look at Johnston smacks the wall on the back straightaway. He'll lose 1, 2 positions. Jordan McDonnell caught the wall on the exit of turn number 4. Dylan Cook slides up. Contact with Johnston. Here comes Inslee and McDonnell now. Berkeley there, 3 wide. This is positions 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. A 5-car tandem with 5 laps left to run. McDonnell with a slider on Berkeley. Berkeley underneath. Now Berkeley in the 9 machine. He'll go to the cushion. Jordan McDonnell really trying to squeeze Berkeley up into the concrete wall. Meanwhile, Graham Smythe coming after your race leader. He was a whole lot closer in 1 and 2. Can he find a way around the 11 machine? 3 laps left to run. Graham Smythe looks a little faster at the moment. 2.5 to go. Who will it be? Who will take out run number 5 of the SimBlacks New Zealand National Midget Championship? 2 to go. Here comes Smythe with a run on the turn number 1 and 2. Stewart looks good down to the bottom side of the racetrack. Penultimate time. White flag is out. 1 lap left to run. Stewart, Smythe, and Wilson. Smythe going to throw everything, including the kitchen sink right now at Harry Stewart. Back straight away for the final time into turn number 3 and 4. The SimBlacks New Zealand National Midget Championship week number 5 winner goes to Harry Stewart. Second will be Graham Smythe. He backs up the podium after last week. Well done to Graham Smythe. Darcy Wilson rounds out the podium. Matthew Johnston, Dylan Cook make up your top 5. But no one can deny this guy of another victory here at I-55. Well done to Harry Stewart. What a way to cap off round number 5. Let's take a look at those official feature results coming up on screen. Harry Stewart, Graham Smythe, Darcy Wilson, your top 3. Matthew Johnston, Dylan Cook, your top 5. Alec Inslee, Xavier Simmons, Leo Heaton, Tom Storr, Regan Edwards, your top 10. Mitchell Sparrow, Dion DeGraaf, Stefan Adams, Brian McIntyre, Joel Berkeley, your top 15. James McDonald, Ayrton Smith, Matthew McCutcheon, Callum Davidson, Caden Barker, Bradley Oldfield, Lachlan Barbary, Mitch Fabius, and Jordan McDonnell in 24th position. We will go trackside and chat to our top 3. Let's see if we can go there. Okay, well, we are going to go from 3rd to 1st. Actually, hang on, we're going to see if we can bring... Don't know why Harry can't talk in here. But anyhow, we'll chat to 3rd place, then we'll go down the line. So Darcy Wilson home in 3rd place. Darcy, congratulations on a 3rd place run here tonight. Well, you had your work cut out for you. You had to come from the B. You started 14th, but you made your way to the front. Well done on 3rd.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah, dug myself a bit of a hole in qualifying. I really messed that up, and I think I qualified like mid-20s. So, yeah, had to come through in the heat. Heat wasn't too bad. Definitely got lucky. Definitely got a little bit unlucky, but wasn't too bad overall. And then, yeah, the B main was pretty straightforward. It's a bit of a you have to finish and you'll make it. So, but I wanted to finish up the front of the B, so I didn't have to park too many cars on feature. But no, we started 14th and set the car up for the bottom actually, but. I don't know, I just went wherever they weren't and actually got a lot of cars at the start, and then it was just a really long race. I don't even know how many laps we did green, but no, I was really happy with the 3rd place.
44. I can tell you done 44 laps before that first caution come out. I noticed sort of those last sort of 15 laps, you were following Harry around sort of bottom to mid track. It wasn't on the bottom, but it wasn't mid track. It was sort of in between those two. Was that sort of something that he told you where he was running, or were you just sort of watching him, continue to lead the way out in front, just running that same line?
Nah, I kind of ran that whole line once I got free air, and I seemed to really like it. So I just stuck there, and then found out that Harry was running it too. I'm not actually sure if we're running the same setup, but I imagine it would have been pretty similar. So that's probably why we're both in that line.
All right, well done on 3rd place, Darcy. Before I let you get out of here, no doubt there's a lot of sponsors and some people you want to thank on this race car.
Yeah, just a massive thank to Australian Racing Products, Six Ballarat, Down Under Graphics, 87 Creative, all the boys at United and Slick Sim Sports for all they do. Congrats to Harry on the win. Yourself for a great broadcast, and Brayton for putting on a really good league.
All right, there we go. Darcy Wilson home in position number 3, plus 11 spots. By the way, we'll talk to Graham Smythe again, fresh off a podium last week. He backs it up with another podium here tonight. And, well, I tell you what, Graham, man, you really had us on the edge of our seat there on those last 5 laps. You were coming. Do you think maybe another 5 laps, the outcome may have been different?
Nah, probably not, to be honest. I was just saying to Harry just then, I was sort of like, I'm probably not good enough to just burn around the top. If it was someone like Joel, he probably could have got it done. But there wasn't really much left up there either. There was a good bit of juice on the exit, but everywhere else was all pretty gone. So, but no, it was a good race, good fun. Pretty much did the whole thing green, which was also pretty cool.
Yeah, one caution in 55 laps, just a testament to the 24 drivers on the racetrack. Mate, how tough is it to put 55 laps on the top side without making that mistake? Because one little mistake, jumping the caution, means you're going to be up into the wall, and that potentially could end your night very early.
Yeah, it was. It definitely seems quite a while when you're sort of like actually doing it, trying to race someone. It's a little bit different to just sort of burning around doing 55 laps on your own. But yeah, I thought the track, like, there wasn't much left, but it was challenging, and yeah, it was good fun.
All right, well done on backing up a podium after last week. You come home with a second place finish here tonight. Graham, before we let you go, of course, sponsor on this race car, people behind the scenes, mate, who makes this possible for you?
Just thanks to all the FYB boys again, and thanks to iRacing for a good baseline setup. It worked this week.
All right, well done on second place. No doubt we'll see you next week at Williams Grove.
Cool, thank you.
All right, there we go. Graham Smythe home in position number 2. Let's go up here and let's talk to our race winner here tonight. And took me a little while to get to the front, but once he got to the front, it was smooth sailing for the number 11 machine. Harry, congratulations on the win. Congratulations on what should be extending what is now a points lead. You must be happy after the first 5 weeks.
Yeah, I was getting a bit worried there. Alec looked pretty unstoppable those first few races. I guess he's in a bit of a rough patch with last week crashing, and then I think even though only 6, still pretty good with how many cars rock up. It's still yeah, good points. But yeah, I don't know. It was pretty fun. Just running the bottom there and trying to just be patient and get past Graham and. Yeah, just I was sort of waiting for a caution. I went a bit light on fuel, so it sort of forced me down to the bottom the whole time, and yeah, it just came in, and that was pretty much it, I guess.
You said you went light on fuel. How close were you when you come across the start finish line?
Well, without that yellow, I probably would have been maybe an extra lap of fuel. But if I was running the top like I sort of planned to do, I'd like after those all the B mains and the E's and it like that whole thing, just was expecting it to be a bit of a crash fest. So, yeah, I guess just lucky it wasn't, and got to do some pretty cool racing. It was cool coming through the lap cars. You don't really get to do that much on iRacing, and it's pretty cool when it happens. So, lucky to do that. And Darcy had a pretty good run coming through the field. I think Joel was saying in Discord what lap times he was doing. And I was looking at my lap times, and he was a solid 2/10, 3/10 quicker. So, pretty lucky he had no practice beforehand and didn't get a good qual lap in.
Yeah, actually had contact with Tom Storr, I think it was, out of turn 4, which sort of put him behind the 8 ball after that one. But more importantly, mate, you bag another win in the series. We go to Williams Grove next week. We talk about the racetrack here tonight, I-55. It's a small, tight little racetrack. You go to a big track like the length of the straightaway is almost like the length of this whole racetrack here at I-55. How do you prepare yourself for next week? And obviously, what are the big main differences that you go to from tonight to next week?
I was trying to think back to, I think it was Jordan's league the last time we were there, and I think Aston waxed us all, so hopefully he doesn't rock up. But yeah, it's a very interesting track. I don't really know what to expect every time I go there with the midgets. The sprint cars, it's usually top and bottom, but the midgets these days are any way you can get group sort of works, and it's completely random most times. Like tonight, doing the lines we were all sort of doing at the start there, it's just a bit whack, and I expect Williams Grove to be the same, and probably a lot of crashes because of all the different lines being chosen.
No, look, well done on the win here tonight. No doubt that, again, you got some sponsors and some great people behind the scenes that you want to thank.
Yeah, just like thank everyone at United Sim Sports and Slick Sim Sports for getting this car dialed in. Tight Garages and Sheds, 87 Creative for doing the design, Frags Tires, Tour Mobile Welding, yeah, yourself for broadcasting, and Brayton for putting on the league.
All right, well done on the win. No doubt we'll see you back next week at Williams Grove.
Cheers.
All right, there we go. Harry Stewart, ladies and gentlemen, your winner here tonight from the Federated Auto Parts I-55 Raceway for round number 5 of the SimBlacks New Zealand National Midget Championship, brought to you by New Zealand Sim Racing, So It Seems, Customer Poultry, and Speed Nation. Without their support, none of this would be possible. So we thank those guys, of course, Brayton Davison, for putting on this league. Again, 5 out of the 18 weeks is done. 13 weeks remaining next week. Over the next 2 weeks, we go to Williams Grove and Bristol before we come back to Limaland. So a variety of tracks who knows what to expect? The longer racetracks seem to produce different styles, different types of racing. But tonight, Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55 Peevely, Missouri belongs to Harry Stewart. Congratulations to him on the win. Until then, on behalf of the team here at Ultimate Dirt TV and the management behind the scenes, we say farewell, good night. We'll be back in about 10 to 15 minutes time for the Worth Australia Big Block Modified season finale at the Knoxville Raceway. Good night.